Sword Coast Legends is an epic single and multiplayer role-playing game set in Dungeons & Dragons' Forgotten Realms. In the extensive story campaign, you awaken from a horrific nightmare to find your guild, the Order of the Burning Dawn, all but destroyed. Pursued by assassins who must escape north along the Sword Coast in search of the truth. Begin by creating your own character, choosing from 5 distinct races and 6 iconic classes. With multiple customization options within each class, you can create the perfect character to fit your desired playstyle. Along the way, you may choose to ally with powerful companions, such as Jahil Stoneforge, a fearless fighter who is tough as steel. Illydia Maethelin, a powerful healer with a tortured past. Larithar Golgrin, a rogue with a wit as sharp as his blades. Homit Shaw, the necromancer with a heart of gold. After creating your character, you can embark on your journey. You can invite up to 3 friends to join the story as a co-op adventure, with each player using their own customized character. Although you can customize your character with treasures and loot, you will have to rely on your party to survive the dangers of the Sword Coast. Combat is in real time, but you can pause to queue up attacks and spells if you desire a tactical edge. In the new Dungeon Master mode, one player takes on the role of the Dungeon Master, able to control aspects of the game in a randomly generated dungeon or a custom campaign of their own creation. 4 adventurers may test their mettle against the DMs, and both sides are rewarded for skillful play. During boss encounters, Dungeon Masters can even take direct control of the enemy, adding an extra layer of challenge. So come now, adventurer. Ready your armor, gather your weapons, and journey to the Sword Coast.
Today, we're here. We did it. Hey guys. Thank you guys for tuning in. So I'm here with Tim Schwalk again, and we're going to do something pretty cool for you guys today. We will be answering questions in the channel, so we'll try and answer as many as we can legally. And we're also going to be doing some dungeon creation live today, which is going to be pretty exciting. So what we're going to be doing is taking a campaign that I made a long time ago for D&D 3.5, and we're going to kind of be recreating it using our tools and hanging out and just having a good time and showing you guys what the game can do. And this is something we'll be doing week after week for hopefully forever and ever. That's the plan. So forever and ever, we'll be showing off.
And sort of committed us now.
Yeah, the idea, I know, sorry, I'm making this up as we go. The idea that we had was to create a campaign that we could show week after week and kind of evolve it. And you know, as we add content and as we do things, you know, over the next couple centuries, we'll be adding more stuff and we'll be adding to this campaign. So this is just the first step in many. So I see a lot of very familiar faces in there. Or not faces, but names. So a lot of the guys from the forums are here. Hey guys.
Thank you.
I have the elixir of life. I do. I'm actually awake this week, guys, which is great. I did take a trip, so thank you guys for bearing with me, but I'm back, and I'm going to show you guys some cool stuff. How you been, man?
Oh, been good. We're busy.
Yeah.
As you know.
Yeah, it is. It's a very busy time. So, right. But the good news is the game's looking great, and you guys are going to get to see it today. The first thing is hey, everybody. Oh, I see so many familiar names. That's awesome. So the big thing is the elephant in the room, and I'm just going to address it right off the bat, and that is the random dungeon scenario, right? So a lot of people had a lot of concerns on the forums and have contacted me directly, and I've actually spoken to a couple of you guys in person about how dungeons are randomized, and a lot of people were pretty upset about that. And the thing I want to point out is that is true. Right now our dungeons are randomized, but that doesn't mean that there's not a ton of customization. And also, we are listening to you guys. And I'm not just saying that. I know that sounds kind of like, PR buzz, but the fact of the matter is we are listening, and, we're paying attention. So if we hear that a lot of people really want to make stuff tile by tile, we're listening to you, and we care what you guys think. Okay. So other stuff, quick social plugs. You guys can always follow us. It's all up there. So go to Sword Coast on Twitter, go to /Sword Coast on Facebook. And of course, hopefully you're following us here, Sword Coast Legends on Twitch. We are going to do some giveaways at the end of the stream. We're going to be giving away 2 copies of the game at the end of the stream. And also, what else are we going to do? Oh, we're going to give away, if you follow us on Twitter between now and the end of the stream, we're going to give away 1 copy of the game to a random follower who follows us on Twitter.
Nice.
So,
Can I say something about the random dungeon?
Yes, please do. Please do.
I remember after we did the stream last week, there was some question about how I had accidentally deleted the dungeon and remade it.
Yeah.
But we did end up with the exact same layout. So a little bit of behind the curtain stuff. For our E3 build, we did do a random dungeon, but when we got a seed that we liked, we saved that and we locked it in. So every single E3 demo we did had that same dungeon that you guys saw.
Yeah.
That's why it was easy for us to recreate it and use that.
Right.
But you'll see today, we're going to show a little bit of randomization. The system is very random.
Yeah.
But it's influence random. I have parameters I can change to do that.
Right.
And we doubled down on letting you create the story inside of the dungeon without worrying so much about the walls, So, but like Ash said, we're listening.
Yeah, we are listening, and I see people shouting tile by tile is necessary, and a lot of people think it is. So, we want to make the best game that we can possibly make, and so all I can say at this point is we are paying attention to you guys.
And
okay,
that's the way our system works. When you play through our expansive story campaign, it's not all random. The designers have the capability to do tile by tile dungeons. It's just a matter of, finding the time to put some tools on it. Let the community do that too. But yeah, we totally hear you.
Right.
Totally.
So what we're going to be doing is Tim's going to be doing some stuff. I'll kind of be directing it, and we're going to just add some fun adventures and show you guys the creation of a dungeon, and I'll try my best to answer some questions both during and after. So hang in there. If your question doesn't get answered, it's not because I'm ignoring you, it's because I'm doing multiple things at once. So let's show them some stuff. What do you say?
All right, let's do it.
All right. All right, here we go. Ta-da! All right, so this is a dungeon. This is a sewer dungeon. And why don't you, real quick, Tim, just zoom out and show this dungeon. This was, of course, like we said, this is already all randomized. So let's kind of just show them. This is a medium complex dungeon. So far you guys have only seen small and simple. So this is actually medium complex. And what it does is it adds creatures based on the parameters that you set. We're going to tweak all this out and remove everything and kind of make it really our own. Okay, so this is done so that if you really wanted to have a quick interaction with a party, you could be like, okay, give me 5 minutes and I can set it up. But we're going to take much more time and get much more in depth and add some quests and some fun things in this dungeon. Let's show them a little bit of the randomization.
Yeah, I'm not real happy with this layout.
Yeah, let's tweak it out.
All right, what do we want to tweak? Kind of like our medium complex. We could just re-roll it.
Yeah, let's just re-roll it.
All right, so we'll come back in here and let's randomize it.
All right, so this, you guys see Sewers of Daggerford, and this is actually one that I made up. So I'll show you guys the flavor text later, but I actually wrote up the flavor text. I took some stuff from the wiki to make sure it was all accurate. And all this is, it's a headcanon quest that I made, so there may be some inaccuracies. This is just me making stuff up. Now, what this quest was, I'm just going to talk for a couple minutes about lore while Tim does some rerolls. I created a faction of evil bad guys in my campaign a long time ago called the Zog Cabal, which at the time, many years ago, sounded like the coolest name ever. I'm like, oh, the Zog Cabal, that sounds incredibly tough. I don't know if I like it so much anymore, but I'm sticking with it. And the Zog Cabal were actually, it was a fake guild that my friends and I made up a really long time ago playing Ultima Online. And so what we would do is our guild, we were good guys, but then we would role play as bad guys, and we'd have alternate characters who'd go around robbing people and doing terrible things. And then we'd also leave little notes all over the place that said the Zog Cabal were here. So we had all this, this lore wrapped around our characters, and it was fun. And the story behind the Zog Cabal is no one really knew who they were. They could vanish at will. They were kind of like a boogeyman story. So they would just show up and do terrible things, and no one would ever know if they existed or if they didn't exist. So this campaign that I'm creating here in Sword Coast Legends revolves around the Zog Cabal, and you guys saw there were the flavor text, but the players are going to enter into this dungeon looking for some lost merchants, and what they're going to discover is that the Zog Cabal are very much real. Okay, so this is showing you guys a little bit of a larger dungeon. You can see all the different random rooms. I kind of like this one. Do you want to keep this one?
It's not bad. It's got sort of a main path to the end, but it's got these sort of quadrants here.
Yeah.
I typically like a little more where you can circle back around.
Yeah,
and
let's do one more. Let's do one more.
But it's not bad. And of course, this is keeping the exact same parameters. We can mix it up much more just by tweaking those parameters.
Right. So this one kind of opens with a large room.
Yeah. Here. So is that actually connecting? Not there.
Kind of like that bridge. That's cool.
No, that's a nice sort of.
Can you tell us a little bit about how the randomization occurs?
Yes. So a designer went through, and you'll see the different options here, the size and complexity. Mm-hmm. So a designer is going through, even now we're continuing to tweak and polish this, but and we define what makes up a small dungeon, and typically that's defined by the number of sort of tiles that take you from the beginning to the end.
Yeah.
The complexity starts defining how many branches come off of that trunk, how many leaves are on the branches, and just by tweaking these things, you can get something very, very different or very complex. Mm-hmm. We're also defining which tiles can come up in each of the different areas. There's a lot of control, but basically for Dungeon Master mode, we put a ton of different tile options in all the different trunks and all the different branches. Mm-hmm. And by tweaking those things, you can come up with obviously an infinite amount of options. And you'll see some of these are what we call hallway tiles. Mm-hmm. And we can connect rooms with this. So if we have a really complex dungeon, we can have a hallway connect a room from one spot over here, and you get a lot more looping in a complex dungeon.
Cool.
The party's gonna get a little bit more lost, have to be more careful and watch their map when they're doing that.
I did just get a good question here in the thread. It says, is there any transitional outdoor zones that leads to caverns or complexes? Absolutely.
Totally.
There are outdoor zones, so when we actually play this live with party members, we're actually going to have this, you can see the outdoor zone. So basically you can specify where you want this to be and have an overland zone that leads to, a sewer or a cave or whatever you want to. So right now we're just showing the randomization because that was sort of the elephant in the room. We wanted to address it and talk to you guys about it.
As we continue building this campaign, there will certainly be outdoor surface areas to drive the story and to connect the dungeons, right?
Right. Let's go ahead, and I'm getting a lot of questions, and we want to have enough time to do what we wanted to do, but we'll answer questions as we go. So let's go ahead and start with this one and actually start laying stuff out and showing off what we can do.
Okay.
So let's go ahead to the beginning, and so right here we have two different factions that we've decided to use for the first floor of the dungeon. So there are multiple floors, and we have the Undead and the Zog Cabal. Now the Zog Cabal, the way I designed them, they're a custom creature set, so they have unique armor, unique abilities. The thing about the Zog Cabal from my campaign long ago, my 3.5 campaign, was that they all had the ability to go invisible, and they all had the ability to sort of vanish at will, and they could disappear and cut a party down and then just basically vanish, and no one would ever be able to see them. So I was able to add a lot of those abilities to the creatures here in Sword Coast Legends. And the thing about the Zog Cabal is they're also supposed to be very, very tough. So all of them have a level offset of at least 1. So they're going to be tougher than your average monster. So we're not going to use them a lot on floor 1. What we're going to do is we're going to use them a lot on floor 2, and we're going to kind of scatter some of them throughout floor 1 to surprise the players, and also to give the Dungeon Master a creature to jump into and to control and to really harass the party, because it's awesome. You'll be able to turn invisible, pop up in the middle of the party, and just kind of cut into them and do terrible stuff. So let's go to the very beginning of the dungeon, and start dressing her up. So the party's going to start here, and in this first room, let's go ahead and just give them a nice big clustering of zombies, and maybe we can make it look like something terrible happened in here. So we'll put the zombies down first.
Okay, smattering of zombies.
Yeah, just a smattering of zombies.
All right.
Cool. And then we'll go ahead and just do some. Let's do some bone formations, like perhaps something terrible happened here.
Let's see.
Death.
So when you say formation,
nothing too elaborate, but maybe a pile of bones and some blood. So there we go.
Sure.
And we give some blood too. And we'll do. By the way, we're doing all this on the fly. We're literally making this as we go. So we have some ideas for what quests we want to do, but we're also just going to kind of wing it and show you some of the fun things that you can do for fun. So with the blood, let's make one of the blood. How about you can discover the blood if you search for it. So we'll make it searchable, right?
Discoverable, make discoverable.
Well, let's give it a pretty high spot DC. So for people that are actually bothering to scout, because one thing we're noticing for playthroughs is a lot of people don't want to take the time to just discover things. So we'll make it discoverable, and then can we give it some text too if they discover it?
Sure. What do you want to call the blood? Or you want them to actually be able to click on the blood and learn about it?
Click on the blood and learn about it.
We can totally do that.
Okay, we'll say that this blood. Can you spell coagulated? Because I can't.
I'm not even going to try.
This blood
Coagulated.
is this blood coagulated. No. This blood is slightly coagulated and appears to be human.
Appears to be human.
All right. So this is for folks that are, bothering to take the time to search. So what you're able to do is actually create a quest on the fly, create a little bit of lore, and hopefully create a little bit of mystery. And if you're sitting there DMing with a party, you can do all sorts of fun stuff like this and make it more than just running through rooms and hacking stuff up. So
if I come in here and I'm just running through, I'm not even going to notice this. But if I'm searching, I identify the blood, it then becomes actionable. I click on it and I see this message appear above it.
Someone said we should add a spell checker to the game.
Oh no, what'd I do? That's a good idea.
And Drew from DE, our pal, is actually trolling us. And he says human blood is very specific. Thanks, Drew. Appreciate that.
We can tell. We searched.
We
passed the percent.
All right, so we have some zombies. We have the fact that there's coagulated, specifically human blood, and there's a bone pile. Okay, so let's go ahead and let's work on the room to the left. Yeah, that room there. So this room,
very similar room.
Yeah, it's a little similar. Let's go ahead and give them a chest. So we'll put a chest in the corner.
So maybe a moldy chest.
Moldy chest is perfect.
All right, so we have a treasure chest we put in the corner.
Right, so we have a moldy chest. Let's go ahead and lock that up, and let's make it really hard to pick. So I'm not a jerk DM, but one of the things that I really like to do is actually make challenges challenging. So let's make it 19.
Yeah, you're a jerk DM.
I'm a little bit of a jerk DM, so we'll do that. Make bash lock about 20 as well.
Wow.
We don't want to give those fighters. Oops. There we go. Give it 20, and let's surround that with as many traps as you can put there.
I can put as many traps as I'd like to put there.
I'm a big fan of spear traps, so I wanted them actually all to be spear traps.
All right, so we'll just put some spear traps around it.
Yeah, we'll surround it with spear traps. I think there should be more actually. No, you know what we should do? We should do the chest there. And on the other side, we should do something that would lure them over there and cover that with traps too. So let's put an object of some sort that's examinable. So let's do divine.
Okay.
And then we'll do let's do an altar, stone altar. There we go. And then let's we should add some. We should say, okay, so let's make this discoverable again, so that they have to search for it. Kind of boost that up too.
Wow.
Yeah, there we go. I like that. And let's go ahead and give it some action text too.
Okay.
And we'll say this altar appears to be clean and unused.
An unused altar.
A thick layer of dust.
You're not finished.
I'm getting fancy. A thick layer of dust covers its surface. There we go. Cool. All right, so that's that. And then we'll go ahead and add some traps there too. So let's look at chat and see what we said. I have actually. Somebody asked me if I've ever watched Mercer's GM Guide. I actually have watched Mercer's GM Guide, and Mercer's a fantastic GM and DM for sure. Let's let's see. Can we add in special visual effects, smoke, fog, etc.? No, there's no. But you can change the atmosphere,
change the fog and lighting.
Yeah, you can change lighting and fog. Speaking of which, let's add some torches and stuff to this room, perhaps around the altar. So let's give it a little bit more light.
All right.
So you can change the mood of these dungeons as well. So
stone or wood torch preference?
Someone's calling me out because I said it's clean, but I meant clean as in clean with no gore or sacrificial bodily fluids. So that is what I meant by clean.
Oh, I'm glad you specified there were no sacrificial bodily fluids.
I'll put a little footnote there. No sacrificial bodily fluids on that one. All right, so we have a couple discoverable things here, a couple of traps. We could take a lot of time and dress this room up and spruce it up more, but we have many, many rooms, so let's go ahead and move on. I like that little closet back there. Yeah, do you want to make that, seal that up a little bit? Make that one of those, perhaps, that door. Yeah, so close that door up.
Do you want a door or do you want it to be secret? We even have a sludge-covered door.
Let's do a sludge-covered door. And then let's lock it.
Oops. So I need to put a... I don't know why the lock option is...
Oh, okay, let's trap it then. Lock is when you're actually live, right?
No, you should totally be able to lock this door. This is a live dev build from about a week ago.
Yeah, so there we go.
So we are
no locking that
fixing lots and lots of bugs.
Locking that particular door.
But yes, you can lock that door.
Lots of spear traps. Excellent. And let's actually give them a real reward for getting through that trap and maybe put a chest back in there too.
Sure. Let's give them a treasure chest.
Oh, I see a Jellytanious cube comment. I know.
You need a gelatinous cube dungeon.
I do.
In your story here.
I'm probably going to make a gelatinous cube dungeon for sure. That's in my future, I think. All right. So let's go ahead and move forward, and let's actually give them a nice big encounter here. So what encounter is there? Actually, I like this one a lot. So this is...
There's a small counter here now with a couple of ghouls.
Let's get rid of those ghouls. Let's put... let's clear it out totally. Let's just empty it.
Okay.
And then let's go ahead and put... let's put ranged skeletal snipers or something to that effect on either side.
So put a couple guys
right
here,
and you know what? Let's give them a Zog Cabal surprise, and let's put one of the casters, the Zog Cabal wizard.
Okay.
Let's put her in the corner, in the far corner.
Right here?
Yeah. Okay, so the thing about this wizard is she's completely custom. I rolled up everything, all of her gear and her stats and what abilities she had. And with most of my Zog Cabal characters, they can all go invisible. So the idea, if I were to DM this, would be to possess her, turn her invisible, and use her to surprise the party, flank them, cast spells on them. Obviously it breaks invisibility, but you'd be able to do a number of different things. So at this point, when they enter the room, they'll get ambushed from both sides from the skeletal snipers, and then you'll have a really hardy... the Zog Cabal are almost kind of designed from as mini bosses, so they're challenging. But if you have a full party working together, they should be beatable.
You give them all level offsets to make them harder? Right,
so they all have level offsets. I think she only has a 1 level offset, but there's others that have up to a 5 level offset, so they can be really, really challenging. All right, so what else do we have? Let's keep moving.
So the main critical path of this dungeon appears to be, the center one toward that large room.
Okay.
So we could dress this, or we could jump ahead. I know you have some NPCs you want to place too.
I do. Let's do that. So the main object of this dungeon was to locate the missing merchants. So people are the party's going to be in here looking for the merchants as they were hired to do. And as they venture deeper into the dungeon, they're going to be discovering more about the Zog Cabal and hopefully finding the merchants. So let's go ahead and place one of the first missing merchants was a character that I created called Humbert. I'm really good at creating merchant names and peasant names. That's actually the hardest thing I think as a DM is coming up with names on the fly. So here we have Humbert.
We were really nailing coming up with descriptions on the fly.
Yeah, there we go. So Humbert is a missing merchant. So how do we want to reward the player for finding Humbert? What do you want to do with him?
Well, we want to finish the quest, right? Or
yeah.
We want to at least update that quest.
Right.
So this is a quest you already created for finding the missing merchants. So when you speak to him, we want him to update the quest. Do you want him to say anything when you click on him?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Here we go. This is on the fly.
Here we go.
Here you go. This is on the where am I? Question mark.
Where am I?
I have no idea how I got here.
No, this is good.
Yeah. I feel like something's wrong with me.
I feel like something is wrong with me.
Exclamation point. Oh, you already had that. Awesome.
You just
All
fit.
right. So there we go. So that is finding Humbert, the NPC inside the dungeon.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. So let's make it so there is some objects around Humbert to give him a little bit more pizzazz. So let's give him some stuff around there. Maybe some lichen. So from the mines, I think there were some. Oh no, that's coal and
Forest, maybe?
forest.
Some
Yeah,
mushrooms.
Mushroom clusters. Let's give him some mushroom clusters. So this way, players are like, "What is?"
Very peaceful.
Very peaceful.
Hang
He's
out in
surrounded by
the
some mushroom
fields
clusters.
in the dungeon in the sewer. Okay.
Yeah. All right. So there we go. Cool. And so what's going to happen when players find him now? Just to clarify for everybody.
So if they find him, they'll come over and they'll speak to him. He'll say his line. It'll update the quest they have.
Right. And so the idea I kind of had when I was, spitballing this morning, we literally were just kind of going through this morning and looking through my old stuff. But the idea about the Zog Cabal, and I'm kind of giving spoilers, not that anyone's going to play my campaign, but the idea behind the Zog Cabal is they're obviously they're possessed by dark wizards. They have the ability to control minds. They have the ability to basically take over your body. And so we, on the fly, as the dungeon master, could actually control Humbert's oh my gosh.
Alignment?
His alignment, thank you. We can control his alignment. And so when players discover him, based on their actions and based on how the players are progressing through the dungeon, we could actually change him to be hostile. So if we wanted him to say something's wrong with me and then turn on the party in real time, we could do that. So, it's all really up to you.
I would expect that from you.
Yeah, of course.
Another option would be to turn him friendly, and he would actually fight with the party.
Yes.
Through the dungeon looking for his friends.
But who really wants Humbert along for the ride? I mean, with a name like Humbert. Sorry if anyone out there is named Humbert. So, yeah.
You've offended all of our Humberts.
All right, so let's go ahead and let's give some enemies around here, perhaps on the other side of Humbert, so it looks like that he is on his own, so that they can ambush the party.
Undead, Zog Cabal.
Let's give him one Zog Cabal. No, let's give him two Zog Cabals. Let's give him
War Dog.
A War Dog? Let's give him two War Dogs and an Assassin.
Two War Dogs.
Right.
And an Assassin.
All right. There we go. So this Assassin has stealth and invisibility, so you can kind of do both. So that you can go invisible double, which is nice.
Hey, little buddy.
Ooh, those have a level 3 level. This is going to be a hard room.
Yeah.
Those War Dogs are tough. So yeah, we'll leave that for now. Obviously, we would spend much more time with this and dress it up. We would make the room look nicer, but we have a lot to cover in a little bit amount of time. So let's go ahead and this is a great. I love tunnels. Let's go ahead and seal both of those doors on either side of the tunnel.
Okay.
And let's give them something really nasty and undead inside of there. So what do you think?
Ogre zombie?
Ogre zombie's always
Weird,
good.
you're missing the. Oh wow, you have a lot of good choices.
Yeah. I say let's do an ogre zombie.
You want to do something on top of the ogre zombie?
Yeah.
Not you. Sorry, I clicked something. I want. Where'd you go, buddy?
There he is.
Zombie.
Oh boy, the big boy.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm gonna turn off the other.
Yeah, turn off the other one. All right, so we'll give him an ogre zombie and put the ogre zombie right by the door, so they get the old, as I call it, the pickle surprise. They get the pickle surprise.
That's just
all right.
Cool.
So get some ogre zombies, and let's have him flanked by a bunch of his undead buddies. So let's give him a bunch of regular zombies as well.
Okay.
So here the party's going to be feeling really good about finding one of the first NPCs, about finding Humbert, and then they will go open that door and they will get surprised by a big lumbering monstrosity. So that's pretty cool. All right. So let's move on to the next room. I know, it is pretty evil. I don't know why I said pickle surprise. I don't know why I said
almost
that.
asked, but I was afraid of the story you might tell.
I don't know. I don't know why. Some things just happen to my brain on occasion. So, okay, so this is a large open room. This is actually, to me, kind of looks like a good room for for a ranged ambush or for perhaps a lot of traps. Let's make this a trappy room. And
just to remind everyone, you don't have to fill out every room with encounters. We have a bunch of default encounters that you can choose.
Right.
And based on the difficulty you set, there's a lot of options, and you can even change these around once you set it.
Right. Can we change this one to an ambush just to do it?
I don't think there's an ambush in this tile.
Not in this tile? Okay. So let's not do that.
But we can, well, I didn't want to take anyway.
Let's make this room trap filled.
Of course.
I like traps. Let's kind of make the traps have no rhyme or reason. This way the player thinks that, yeah, there we go. That's pretty good.
You want more?
I kind of want more, but I'm trying to think of what else I can do to make this one. Yeah, that's good. Okay, that's a good amount of traps. So whenever I'm designing these, I really like to give rogues something to do. Not that there's a ton of things that rogues can do, but it is nice to have them be incredibly valuable to the party. So I do like to make a lot of locked doors, a lot of traps, a lot of discoverable stuff. Let's go ahead and move on to the next area. So let's zoom out real quick and show them what we've got so far. So
sure.
how far we've progressed in this. So we've really
doing pretty well.
Yeah.
So you start here, and then if you venture to the left, you're going to die.
Yeah.
If you head ahead of you, you're going to find a little bit of the story, and you have a complete death room. They'll probably have you coming back here looking for some, I don't know, maybe some.
People are shouting more traps, more
traps.
There, yeah.
I feel like the adventure parties get the idea that maybe this is the way they should go with all the stuff we're throwing at them. We're going to lead you to this large sort of central room here. This might be a good point for either a large encounter or maybe a story moment. Mm-hmm. So this is actually near the exit, unless you veer off the side.
I kind of like
So this is cool. This is a giant loop. So you can come all the way through here, come all the way back around to this same tile here. So we could have some fun with this. You could we could hide this door, push people this way.
Let's do that. I like that idea a lot.
Here.
Here we go. Make that a secret door. Can you make that really difficult to find? Is there a way to set the difficulty in this build?
Of course we can. Should unlock this one.
I got it.
What? Okay, maybe not.
Not in this build.
A few bugs in this build.
Yeah, we got some bugs. It's all right. Bugs happen.
Yeah.
No biggie. So if we're tweaking out this room, let's have this room be, what is in there now? What's the default?
So right now we've got balcony snipers. We've got a bunch of traps and a bunch of Zakabal sort of fodder enemies.
Absolutely decimate
with
them,
a blade master and a marksman.
Yeah, let's clear that.
Not bad.
Let's clear that and do something else.
Clear it out.
Yeah, I'm just for those that are just now tuning in, I made the Zog Cabal pretty challenging, so they're at least a level or two above all the players. So giving a room full like that would be pretty evil. They're meant to be scattered in sporadically throughout the dungeon. So, all right. So let's give them a bunch of skeletal snipers. I like that. So we can kind of have a little bit of a ranged battle here and have them start.
Snipers even.
Yeah, have them on the edge a little bit further out. Nice.
So the snipers are cool because they're going to hold their ground. They want to stay up high in their position.
Right.
The archers may flee when you get close or just to get a better shot at you, but these snipers, they really want to stay up high and take that high position.
Right.
So this is mean because you're going to come in here and they're just going to start pelting you.
Mm-hmm. That's pretty awesome. Do we want to give them, let's see, let's give them another clue. So let's have them find something that, let's do another object.
Okay.
And let's do, let's see. Let's do furniture.
Furniture.
Yeah. And then we'll do
bunk beds.
No, we'll do, okay, let's do round table wood. And then we'll do a couple chairs. It was near the bottom.
Round table.
There's a lot of furniture,
there we go.
Guys. All right, so we'll do a round table.
Where would you like it?
Let's put it between, sort of near where the hidden door is. This way, this kind of drives the party a little bit closer to that hidden door in case they're searching.
Clicked the wrong button.
Hey, it's all right.
Sorry.
No worries.
I wish I could blame that one on a bug. That was me. All right, put a table here.
Right.
And you want some chairs?
Yeah, let's give a couple chairs. I don't know who would hang out here, but We'll give it some flavor.
Yeah, the Zog Cabal coffee break.
Yeah. All right, so let's make this discoverable, the table itself discoverable again.
And you can put text on these things without forcing people to search for them.
Right.
Just so it's clear.
I just like the challenge
everywhere.
Yeah,
okay.
I like the challenge of finding it. So let's make it a little easier. Make it 15.
Yeah.
And let's make it say, all right, carved into the table in small letters is the letter G. Well, I guess
Lowercase, uppercase.
Uppercase. Well, I guess it would be a single letter. Carved into the table is...
In small letter.
Carved into the table is a small letter G.
A lowercase... No, you want a small capital letter.
A small capital letter G.
It's a small letter... Do you know where you're going with this?
Yeah, I know where I'm going. I know. There's stuff happening.
Okay.
All right. So there we go. So now we know that there is a... we know that there's a letter G carved into the table.
You got me.
They can discover it.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a hook. You got to have a hook. People got to know what's going on. So then they'll hopefully discover the table. They know that there is a letter G, and then maybe that will prompt them to hit that hidden door, and that'll open up another area. But if not, we're going to funnel them to the right over here,
Right.
which is a whole nother zone. And what do we have? Is this just good old Zombonis?
These are
We
some
don't
marksmen.
Yeah, we don't want those guys.
We can got some skeletons here and some fodder guys. It's a pretty big encounter.
Let's leave that.
Also make it easier. Want to go back to this one?
Yeah, let's make it medium. So we have some underlings,
Mm-hmm.
and a skeleton there too. So we can have them working side by side because the Cabal control
And
them.
you know we can rearrange this however we want.
Right. Maybe
So-
have that skeletal sniper a little bit further back. Actually, you don't.
no,
Sorry, the bone
sniper.
shards. Maybe have them a little bit further back.
Okay. You can move this guy back and this guy. Okay. The Gilded Eye recruit.
All right. Let's see if there's any questions I can answer here.
I have questions. I have no idea what's going on in your story.
I know. We'll see. We'll see what's going on.
You got
with
me
her.
hooked.
I know. That's what I got to do. So obviously we're looking for the other NPC, Uma, and just looking at the way that these sort of this labyrinth-like structure we have here on the right with all the different rooms, I say that we make her in the far corner of all these rooms. We have her surrounded by nasty stuff. Not monsters, but just objects. So skulls and blood and ooze and all sorts of fun
So
stuff.
you want her to be in this?
I want her to be
small corner
right
room?
there in the corner. So you'll be able to find her.
All right, Uma.
There's Uma.
Comfortable.
So
You may be here a while.
Uma is also entirely custom. She is a halfling. So what do we want Uma to do? We want Uma to kind of drive the quest forward, right?
Right. I think you talked about maybe having someone that could send you off to find some of the lieutenants or some of the guys that kidnapped them.
Right.
Fighting all of their underlings, right?
Right. So one of the things the Zog Cabal does is kind of mess with your memory and mess with your mind and do strange experiments on people. And so Uma has very little recollection of why she was brought here or what has happened to her. She doesn't feel good.
Hold on. I really like what you did with Uma, but you can't really tell there.
Oh, yeah.
You know,
Yeah,
like a
Uma has
burn
some
victim.
facial scarring, right. Yeah, so you can get in there and this is
There's
as
a lot
close
of-
as you guys
lot
are
of
going to see to
options.
character creation at this point.
Oh, yeah. Whoops.
Tim's going crazy. What's he
sorry,
doing?
I went off
But yeah,
script.
you can actually get in there and
Go
tweak out.
away.
You're showing more
Oh,
things.
Go away. Undo.
What is happening?
There's some cool stuff, people.
Yeah, there's some cool stuff, and we're going to show you very soon. So let's make Uma the next part of the quest, and let's give her. She wants to get revenge on the people that kidnapped her. So let's do investigate kidnappers. There we go.
So you're going to speak to her, and we're going to give you a new quest. What will you have her say to give you this quest?
All right, she's going to say, "Where am I?" Question mark.
Where am I?
I have no idea.
Is that your Uma voice?
I have no idea. When I DM'd, I did use all sorts of voices. My players hated me. They were all like
British women.
relatively the same too. I was just like, "Rah, rah, rah, rah."
Oh, I have no idea.
Yeah, I have no idea, Governor. I have no idea where I am or who you are.
Where I am or who you are.
I will not leave until you find the people that brought me here.
People that brought me here.
I feel so sick.
How about I feel so sick?
That's great. I feel so sick. There we go.
We can also provide dialogue. So if you speak to her again while you're on the quest, you haven't completed it. So if you speak to her, she's going to say this. You speak to her again, she could maybe give some more information. I don't know if you want to give a clue, or just clarify, or just more character.
Okay. So the incomplete dialogue, I would say I'm not going anywhere until they're gone.
Until they are dead?
Dead. We'll say dead.
Dead.
Till they are dead. Exclamation point. She's serious, man.
She's taking this very
serious. That's a good question. So it says, can we use different descriptions for objects when they are discovered and when they are undiscovered at this point?
No, right now you can only put one description on an object, and you can either make it discoverable or not. When you're making something discoverable, you can actually make it invisible until they discover it. So that's another layer you have on top of it.
Right. You can actually make it completely hidden. So how we had the table before with the letter G etched into it, you could make that just not even visible to the eye until you discovered it. So
I would make fun of you if a table appeared before my eyes.
Right.
But
well,
yeah. That's interesting feedback, though, and that's the kind of thing we love hearing.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, when you ask questions like that, we're like, oh, yeah, that's a great idea. So
no, we've gotten ideas when we've shown the game off that are in the game now because, it's a great idea. We should do that. And we want to be responsive. But yeah, it's a great one. I will write that down.
Right. Can you create cutscenes? I'll just say right now that no, you can't create cutscenes right now. So our tools are pretty awesome. But
remember, as a DM, you can speak to them. You can do voices. Yeah, you are present. There is voice over IP. You don't have to use any of the conversation tools we have if you want. You can just role play everything and just use this to do the combat.
I mean, that's honestly what we're really hoping for. We're hoping for that people DM this like they would DM a tabletop game, so that people will get in there and actually interact with the party, and have them complete riddles and all different sorts of tasks on the fly, which is what we're really hoping for. So
you could lock all the doors, give them a riddle, have them do it,
and unlock it.
Right. Then unlock it and send them on their way. Right.
Yeah, absolutely.
The power is in your mind.
Is in your mind.
We give you all the tools in the world, but it's your creativity that are going to unlock them.
Right.
Yeah. We're excited.
All right. So let's give Uma some stuff around her. Maybe I know there's let's say some more skulls in the death section.
Okay.
No, circle. Let's do circle of bones.
That's pretty huge. So I mean, it would span a little bit of.
That's doable.
All right. Hey, man, it's your adventure.
Yeah.
I'll put a few of them there if you want.
Circle of bones. I will leave that there. That looks pretty cool, actually. I like that.
So you want to do some stuff leading up to her as well?
Yeah. So let's make
a whole blood trail leading to her.
Let's make this room or this area here. We can do. You want to do a blood trail? That's actually a pretty good idea.
We can.
We can do a blood trail. I was going to say let's just make this. Let's make it have a couple of the Zog Cabal assassins in random areas.
Nice.
So that way they have like a little close quarters, invisible battle here and there.
So you come in. These guys are cloaked.
Yeah, these guys are cloaked. Mm-hmm.
And they will jump you as you're searching.
Have you been playing Mortal Kombat with a Predator again?
Look, that is not what we're talking about.
Oh, we're not, sorry.
It's pretty fun, though.
All right, and let's do a couple traps smattered through there as well. So the idea is that they would be kind of getting whittled down by the traps, and then hopefully as the traps are weakening some of the guys that are haphazardly running through here, then the assassins would get the jump on them. Now these assassins are the way that they're spec'd is they can do a lot of damage, especially from stealth, and they have some poison abilities too, so they can really mess up a party pretty good. This is a question about sizing. So it says, can you change the size of circle of bones or objects on the fly? No, you can't actually scale objects because that leads to a whole lot of really big problems, but you can rotate. So, and the thing that's cool is things have different size levels, meaning that you can make the chairs tuck under the tables and rotate it so it looks really nice. But you can't rescale stuff because it could lead to just you'd get campaigns with horses the size of buildings and stuff. And
we have talked about it. It's something I'd actually like.
Yeah.
I like giving the power to the DM, but it's not feasible right now with what we're doing.
Yeah.
But certainly in the future, it's something we'd explore.
Right. I mean, one of the things I really want people to understand is the things that you may be concerned about and that you're maybe even perhaps upset about. We plan on working on this game for a really long time. Like this is. I
believe you said forever.
Yeah, I mean, this isn't something that we're done, it shipped, and then we're just like we like go away. Like we're just gonna keep working on cool stuff, and like Dungeons and Dragons keeps evolving and changing, and Sword Coast Legends is gonna do the same thing.
Yeah, so, we totally want to keep supporting this game, whether it's through new modules that tell new stories or just free content updates that give you the stuff that we didn't have time for, the stuff you're asking for. You know, that's our passion, is to keep working on this because we're excited about it.
Somebody asked, what is wrong with building sized horses? Well, there's so much wrong with building sized horses, let me tell you.
It's like a pickle surprise.
It's like a pickle surprise. Who knows? Who knows what's going to happen?
Yeah, nobody knows.
Yeah. Oh, look at this. Hashtag save Steve. We should make Steve play this.
Oh, we should make a Steve in your campaign.
We'll make a Steve next time.
We'll have Steve play through.
And he'll have to kill himself.
This is twisted.
Yeah, so Steve will have to face off against Steve. All right, let's keep before viewers drop off. All right. So let's go ahead. So we have that little area where you find Uma, and Uma is now directing players to take out the Zog Cabal, right? That's what the quest she gave is to actually eliminate members of the Zog Cabal. Let's actually reward them in a couple of these areas. Let's lock up a couple of those doors and maybe put a few chests in there, because otherwise we're just giving them, pain. We want to give them more than.
There's a little wing here that's kind of by itself. I think that's a good spot for it.
Let's do that. It's really good. I like that.
Put a chest with the assassin. Put one right here.
Oh, Bodar just asked a question that made me laugh.
What was it?
I won't say it. It's it's really funny.
Tease.
Yeah, oh yeah, Drew just pointed something out. I said it at the beginning, but we do have some giveaways at the end. So if you stick around to the end, we're gonna
really good ones.
Really good, yeah. Really good. They're pretty good.
Pretty darn good.
All right.
I like how this section is kind of more exploration based. We've gone through a lot of combat here, a couple little story moments, and then you're sort of wandering around exploring here. There's a couple assassins, but then you're rewarded with some additional story information and a quest.
Right. We've already been doing this for 47 minutes. It doesn't feel like it, huh?
What?
Yeah, it's kind of crazy. So we're going to go
first floor.
I know we're probably going to go about 60 minutes, and then we'll shut it down because we know people have stuff to do. Whatever we don't finish this week, we're going to keep working on this campaign, and eventually what you're going to see is 4 players actually run through this campaign and run through the exposition and learn what the letter G, etched into the table and all that fun stuff means. But let's go ahead and move on a little bit further in here and show off some of the other fun stuff that we can do.
Do you want to go to the next floor?
Let's go ahead and go to the next floor. So we may actually next week finish working on this floor, but for now let's jump to floor 2 and show off
we show how you can set up floors individually, all with their own settings.
Right.
So Ash already set this up. So I'm just going to jump to floor 2.
Right. Oh, okay. So some people are wondering about chest contents. What can we tell them about chest contents at this point?
So the chests are going in. That's something new since E3. So we're not talking a lot about it yet, but that was actually a request that came out of E3, is we wanted more options for treasure, so that's something that we're doing.
Right. So there you go. We can't exactly answer it yet, but we are listening to you guys, and there's obviously some balance issues, because one thing we want players to do is bring these characters into various campaigns. So we don't want DMs being able to completely overpower every single player, because then it leads to imbalance across the entire game. So there's some options that we're looking into to make things fair and to make things work correctly.
Yeah, we want you to be able to reward your players as a DM.
Right.
And that's our primary goal.
No problem. And honestly, guys, we want to answer as much as we can. We're not trying to be sneaky. It's just
no, really, right.
There's a lot of things that are still being iterated on, and so we're trying to get the right answers for you guys. So we don't sound like we're lying.
Yeah, we don't want to tell you something that could change. That's our goal.
Will this live stream campaign being made be placed to play and launched as an extra little something? So that's a good question.
We should totally include this and talk about that.
Yeah, the sewers. Yeah, we may be able to do that. We'll see.
The
obviously,
only caveat with what we're doing now is that as we're fixing bugs, say, for instance, the sewer medium XML changes that defines what the randomization of this dungeon, if that changes, it will tweak what we've made here.
Right. So there could be some hiccups, but I would be honored to have this out there for people to play, and I'll obviously iterate on it and make it a little bit more exciting. Question about lighting.
Dungeon sharing, I was playing with it yesterday.
Yeah.
It already works.
Yeah, dungeon sharing's
pretty amazing.
It's awesome. I cannot wait to see what other people make. I'm really excited to test it out.
I'm going to sort by user and not get yours.
I know.
Because it's hard.
Nobody wants all the traps and the evilness. Question about dungeon lighting. That's one we can actually answer. So
lighting?
Yeah, lighting and mood and tone, right?
Yeah, we haven't shown it yet. That's something we'll probably show soon, but there's a theme option up here.
Right.
Where you'll be able to change different themes to fit the kind of story you're telling, the kind of atmosphere you want to set, but you can affect the fog and the lighting in these areas to make them feel pretty drastically different.
Yeah, awesome. All right, so let's add some more stuff before we're out of time here. And then, of course, we'll go back. What is, wow, where are we? This is
yeah.
Let's show the boss chamber first, since we're low on time. This is a pretty cool little room.
Okay.
All right, and so here is where the main boss fight is going to happen, and the quest that the players got from Uma to face off against the Zog Cabal will eventually lead the players to here. And this dungeon, honestly, we're looking at, this crawl would probably take a couple hours.
This would take hours.
This would take a really long time, and this is just medium complex. Now, this is Lord Grishnok, and Lord Grishnok is a character that I created a long time ago. And yeah, look, he has a 6th level bonus on the players. So he is going to be...
so clearly you want to surround it with traps.
No traps in here. It's just going to be Grishnok. And, of course, we made him incredibly tough. He has a lot of abilities. Actually, he has a lot of paladin abilities. And I don't want to spoil too much about the campaign yet, but there's something going on with the Zog Cabal and paladin. So new quest action.
You clearly want to finish the quest by killing him?
By killing him. But...
Okay.
Doesn't mean he's actually dead. I mean, he of course he's going to come back. That's what happens in D&D. They always come back. So let's give him a couple guards as well. Do we have those guards ready? Did we make them?
Yeah, we did.
Okay, so yeah, we made a couple guards.
Do you want them in here?
Let's actually make them outside the door.
We could tie the guards to the quest as well. You have to kill the guards and then him to complete that quest.
Let's do that. That sounds like a good idea.
Okay, so... it's a unique character you just made. We put 2 of them here?
Yeah, we'll put 2 there.
All right, so we got the guards.
These guys are custom too. Custom black plate. some
purplish black plate you made there.
I like that purpley tone. I don't know why.
So we're gonna have this update. Whoops, on kill. We want to update this quest. So basically this requires this to be done before the quest can be completed. One thing that doesn't reflect in this build that's since been added, because we're moving so quickly, finishing everything,
right,
is that whenever you do this, you can apply conversation to different updates. You can actually, all these little sub-quests you're adding with all the different updates, you can put your own text in there. So whenever they get the quest, they'll see these different quest updates that they get checked off as they do it, and you can specify those. Let me find, sorry, I lost my train of thought. All right. I think we got it. Nope. Alright, I'm with you.
Cool. Alright, so we have these guys guarding the door, and you go inside, and then you have Lord Grishnok. He's in there, and he will likely nearly wipe the party. So this is the type of thing where the DM is going to have to be very, very aware of the player's health and very aware of how the players are actually performing. He's meant to be, at this point, nearly unstoppable. Okay. So, I mean, if the party is working really well together, they will be able to overcome him. But if somebody goes down, if the healer goes down, basically, they're going to have to be really, really careful when they face off against him. So the DM may have to demote him. The DM may have to, basically just control the situation to the best of their ability. So, so cool. So let's see how we're doing on time. We're doing all right. 5 more minutes.
Giveaways.
We got a giveaway. Okay, so what we're going to do, we are going to do a couple things for you guys. The first thing, we're just going to leave this open and we'll just do it from this screen. But Drew over at DE is going to give away 2 random copies of Sword Coast Legends, so full copies of the game, and he's basically going to hit his randomizer and he's going to give you guys those random copies. So if you're in the channel now, just say, hello, I'm here, and then eventually you may get a free game code. Now, if you already have pre-ordered the game and you're already wanting to to play with your friends, it's also something that you can give to a pal and play with them. So that's awesome. 2 copies of the game. The other free copy of the game we're giving away on Twitter. So if you go to it's right up there at the top. If you go to @SwordCoast on Twitter, if you follow us there, we're going to give away a copy to a new follower. So if you come from this channel and jump onto that channel, then we're going to go ahead and give you a copy of the game. Now, this went by a lot faster than I was expecting. We were really expecting to get a little bit more done. So what we're going to do next week is go a little bit more in depth with customization, even further in depth. We're going to go more in depth with quests and quest chains and that sort of thing. And then what we're going to do probably the week after that, in theory, is we'll actually have maybe Steve and some of the QA guys run through the dungeon and actually start their quest against the Zog Cabal, and then we'll go from there and see what happens.
Yeah, I look forward to showing some of the power of the tools next week, some of the complexity you can do with the quest. It's pretty cool.
And also for those that feel like their question wasn't answered, what I'm going to do is I will stop the stream in just a few minutes. But once the stream is over, I'll still hang out in the channel, so I'll be at Sword Coast here on Sword Coast Legends on Twitch, and I'll answer as many questions as I can. And one of the things that I think is really important is being honest and transparent, and we really want to be with you guys, and so we'll answer whatever we can at this point, and then hopefully keep answering stuff as we progress. But there's a lot you can do, and we hope you guys enjoyed what we showed off. It's pretty cool. I'm loving it. I'm loving seeing my campaign come back to life. And
we should probably save it.
Yeah, we should probably save it. That's actually a really good idea, so we should save it. All right, so again, final things. You can find us at Sword Coast. That's on at Sword Coast on Twitter. You can go to Facebook and that's /Sword Coast. Obviously, follow us here on Sword Coast Legends. You can go to forums at swordcoast.com and join in the conversation there. There's a lot of really passionate tabletop fans and a lot of really passionate Sword Coast folks there. So definitely go in and say hi to everyone there. I do see a lot of familiar names. So a lot of people from the forums are the people that join us here on Twitch. And we'll be coming back in the coming weeks with all sorts of cool stuff that we'll be showing off. And obviously, we have a lot of requests for things like character creation and customization. You kind of saw a little peek of that today. Tim showed you some cool stuff, but we'll get more in depth, and it's a little bit more robust than I think a lot of other isometric RPGs. So I think it's pretty cool. Yeah.
No,
you have a good time, man?
Yeah. Absolutely.
I kind of want to play through this now.
Flew through, I know.
I'm itching to play. All right, guys. Thank you guys so much, and we will be back next week with all new stream. And like I said, I will hang out here on the channel and answer whatever I can, and we'll go from there. All right.
Great. Thank you, everybody.
See you guys later.